Welcome to reacting to VTubing is being eaten alive by tourists and normies by Depressed Nousagi, obviously. And yeah, let's begin. This has been like quite the issue, you know?
This YouTuber Fiznom was
This is a FNAF guy. Five Nights at Freddy's, you know the game? Popular with teenagers back in like 2016.
accused of pedophilia. His friend as well, forced into a break because of the overwhelming pressure. His sin? Expressing his adoration for Mint.
I saw this on Twitter. I was like, what's going on? It's just Mint, you know? Minto. I wonder what Minto is doing. it's just like, what's going on here? Like, what happened? Literally. And then you realize, oh yeah, normies, you know? If the teenagers that watch FNAF content decided to be like, goo goo gaga, I don't like it, you know?
Apparently, this is pedophilia. This body is considered that of a child. It's more than that too, because this one incident triggered a wave of normies and non-VTuber fans to flood the VTuber Twitter sphere and make all sorts of allegations. But before we continue, I would like to thank my generous whale Opera G.
Bro, we haven't been 30 seconds in, bro. You could like leave the opera ad into like the middle of the video or something. Okay, whatever.
All knowers recognize I use Opera GX on my streams to browse, and that's for good reason.
Do we have like,
a ton of features, more than your average.
Higher quality. There we go.
My favorite being the fact that if you watch anime in YouTube and open another tab, a small pop-out window follows whichever tab you're on.
That would be completely useless for me.
Key features for YouTube.
You know how I use YouTube? I just listen to stuff. Imagine listening to YouTube instead of watching.
Premium, and they're giving it to you for free. They also have a built-in VPN which can use to bypass region.
Is this VPN any good, by the way? Because I need a VPN. I need a VPN.
Animes that are not available in yours. Pro tip: turn that shit on, set to Philippines, search Mushoku Tensei or Freeren on YouTube. You'll thank me later.
Oh yeah, they have it in Amuse Asia. That's true.
There is also ad block. Look at this, okay? I have these multiple fandom wiki.
Fandom websites are so freaking annoying, mate. Like, you go on and it's just ads everywhere.
On, and as you can see, they have ads on their headers and on the sidebar. Freaking JJK, JoJo, even the virtual YouTuber wiki. But with one flip of a switch, boom, it's gone.
Magic.
On the JoJo wiki, it's gone. On the JJK wiki, it's gone. The browser just works. Lastly, this browser isn't just a normal browser, like I said, you can customize it. Mods are basically ways to set the browser to become your personal play hub. I like the Traveler mod from Genshin Impact because it has these cool mood setting music, and look at that.
I hate mood setting music. I hate music in like ads, not ads. I mean, I hate music when you have like web browsers. Like whenever I went onto like Genshin Impact website, or like, you know, there's this new game from Hoyoverse that's like TFT but not really TFT, right? And I was like, okay, let me go check it out. Let me maybe get into like the early access or something, right? I didn't get into the early access. I was a bit too late. But I was like, first thing I went in, it was like a blast of bloody music, and I was like, what's going on?
Background, bro. Minecraft mod is also good for your Minecraft withdrawals, but personally, my mods are mostly just made of waifus and a little bit of everything, including memes. And the Minecraft mod's music is also top tier, so I use it. Actually, a legit true nerd's dream. And if you're using another browser, then it's no problem. You can just import everything into Opera GX, and it's that easy. It's like you just moved into a bigger and better house with all the same furnitures in the same place. So if you're a true nerd gigachad, you need to stop using your browser and get your GX Opera. Download it using the link in the description. Now!
Finally!
Apparently, according to this massive YouTuber, VTubers would be flipping burgers and putting fries in bags if pedophiles didn't exist. I even saw this person who legit
VTubers would be like working in McDonald's if men didn't exist.
It tries to argue that lolly porn is not okay, but grape and vor porn.
Ugh, Guro. Very no good. I don't like these tags. This is no good. This is no good either, actually. None of it is good, to be honest.
What the hell? But you see, this is just one of the most recent of many misrepresentations and attacks against VTubing. Not even further back, Iron Mouse was and currently is the victim of being hate-rated.
Yeah, she is attacked by the normies because stuff happened like very early on in the year. Wow.
by normies and TikTok kids. Her voice being the way that it is pedobait. Calliope Mori was attacked and hate raided by Twitter users hating
That was ages ago. That was a while back.
on her music, her past, and her collaborations with certain Japanese media. Silvervale and Pikami was harassed to tears because apparently playing the wizard game is transphobic.
Remember the wizard game incident? I can't believe it had happened, you know?
These are but the popular attacks against VTubers in the
I
internet.
mean, they happen literally every day because sometimes you just find like a moron on the internet as like, I'm gonna be cool, I'm gonna attack this weird person. Like bro.
Industry that came from people who don't really know VTubers or anime in general.
Yeah.
If there's one common demographic that these people usually come from, it's from people who dislike it and its culture, who don't really know what VTubing is. People who are under 22 and are
Wait, I just realized what I saw there. Kill the hole, you know, like from JoJo's.
by echo chambers in the internet. It's a thing that's been going on since VTubing became popular. Sameko Saba and Gargura and her fans being called pedobait and actual pedophiles, from Calliope Mori being accused of some insane things because she said the N-word almost a decade ago. Chibidoki
Wow.
getting heat for celebrating Men's Mental Health Day, among many other controversies. And it's not letting up. In fact,
Celebrating Men's Day. Imagine that in 21st century, you know?
I think many people have become quite bolder in calling VTubing and its fans names, accusing them of absolutely insane things. And with every single instance this has happened, it becomes harder not to support gatekeeping. We almost always get proven correct when it
I believe that gatekeeping is great. Like, there are some people that shouldn't be like, you know, like there should be a hard barrier of entry into certain things, in my opinion, because, well, for VTubing it's money. For being a VTuber fan, it's literally nothing. But like, for anime, yeah, if you are a normie, you're gonna pay for like Crunchyroll or something. That's the barrier of entry, a little bit of money, basically. But like, you know, you're gonna watch like one anime and then you're gonna be like, I have opinions now, you know? And it's like, no, mate, no, you don't have opinions. Get out, go back, watch School Days, maybe. Maybe come back later when you watch like 20 more animes. Then you can have maybe some opinions, okay? Right now, your opinions mean nothing. Literally nothing, you know?
comes to these people. And I think we have to talk about it. Fair warning though, I wrote this script and recorded this video fresh from when I was sick and having a bad week, so do not expect me to cushion my words in this video. First, let's talk
We're gonna get banned because YouTube AI is going to be like, oh, big naughty words, you know?
about what normies and tourists mean. Because
Wait, pardon, go back.
cushion my words in this video.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about what normies and
Okay, so you have normies and you have tourists. So this is your average person that engages with regular media. You know, like, what's like normal media? Like, people that watch Marvel movies. There we go, Marvel movies. You know them? Those are the people, right? Tourists, okay. This is when you have like people that come from Marvel watching My Hero Academia and then talking about something like Mushoku Tensei. Okay? Because that is like the pipeline. You like superheroes, you're going to watch My Hero Academia, right? And you like My Hero Academia, so you, well, quote unquote, like anime. You don't really do, you like My Hero Academia. And you're weird as well, potentially, because like My Hero Academia fandom is weird. Whatever. And then you're going to talk about this anime called Mushoku Tensei, and you're gonna not like it because it's very, very unusual for the Western audience, the way it's, well, it exists, you know? As such, you're gonna hate on it, and thus you are being a tourist because you're putting, like, you're inputting a very negative opinion into a space that has existed for ages, into a content that has literally existed for ages. Like, whatever the hell is going on in Mushoku Tensei has been going on for literally ages now. Like, the things that are happening there, you know, it's a bit more perverted than usual, but then we remind ourselves that there's a whole genre of erotica and like hentai literally down the road, you know, and Mr. Tourist has never even engaged with that. Like, he doesn't even know about that, you know.
tourists mean, because a lot of people confuse them and often use the terms interchangeably. A normie is a slang for a normal, ordinary person who likes
Yeah,
mainstream trends, popular culture, and typical lifestyle choices.
See, this is the person that watches like Demon Slayer and is like, that was a nice movie, that was very cool. And then he goes back to like doing his regular normal things and doesn't engage with Medium anymore, you know?
They can be fans of anything or anyone, but tends to lean towards things that are popular. Translated over to anime culture, these are the types of people that really only watch the popular anime.
Yeah.
Especially the shonen friends, or what happens to be trendy at the moment. A subcategory of a normie is also the casual. People who might be interested in niche subcultures, but really only just dwell on the surface of the iceberg. There is nothing necessarily wrong with being a normie. Most people in the world fall into this category because that's just human nature. To be piqued and be interested in things that people already like.
Yeah.
A tourist is another word for an outsider, similar to the casual, but with a negative presence and effect on the culture they're inhabiting.
Yeah.
Now, despite the negative framing of tourist in this video, as well as my schizophrenic tirades about tourists in the past, I don't actually necessarily hate tourists. I
Good on you, I do.
also understand the people who hate the gatekeeping sentiment. I know about how the word tourist is used willy-nilly as an insult to new people who are just trying to participate and have fun in a culture. Sometimes I see people getting called tourist just because they don't know elite ball knowledge or know an obscure reference from a franchise that was like from 20 years ago. I see people—
Yeah, I don't think you need to know obscure references from like Great Teacher Onizuka or like Ranma Half the first one or like what's like a good one? Kiba, for example. Kiba is like anime monster, you know. And like there's many, literally there's hundreds of thousands of anime. I still have like I only seen 1,000 anime. I'm only a noob, you know. There's 2,000 more for me to watch. Obviously, like I haven't seen things like Made in Abyss. I haven't seen things like the what's like a good example of the anime that's like popular nowadays. The Chinese anime about the pharmacy medical herbs girl. I don't know the name. The one, you know, that one. Yeah, you probably know the name. But yeah, I haven't seen that one. I don't see like I watch all the trash there is out there, but I don't tend to like, you know, when there's something popular, I'm like, let me just, you know, sideways, you know, let me leave it for later when I feel like it. When there's like trash, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna watch the weekly because watching trash weekly is like fun, you know.
Getting called tourists just because they forgot the name of a very important character or miss out on details of a popular arc in the anime. I get it. Even if you're a big fan of something, you can't know everything, and I think that kind of elitist behavior isn't necessarily right. After all, everyone has been a tourist at some point, especially when you're just joining a community that seems to fit your interest.
I mean, not really, because I don't think that way. Like, maybe nowadays, yes. Back in, like, the older days, I feel like it was much harder because it was, like, harder to find anime fans in general. Like, you would see them on forums and stuff like that, but, like, most people wouldn't, like, the regular person wouldn't really engage with them, like, regularly. Like, you know, the people that you see in the comment section when you're on your anime watching website, right? Do you engage with them? Not really. I don't. I never did. I never literally, like, I literally never knew there was, like, so many anime people until I went on to, like, you know, bloody become a VTuber, basically. I was like, oh, so you're out there. Maybe you don't have you haven't seen maybe like a gazillion anime like me, but you're out there, okay.
When you're only a year into anime and Japanese culture, people can't and shouldn't expect you to know who Marisa Kirisame is or identify a Hiroyuki Sawano track when you hear it. I don't have a problem with people just discovering something that I like and liking them as well. That's not what I'm referring to when I call others a tourist derogatorily. Cause see, the tourists we are referring to are people who, despite being new, despite really not knowing much about the culture or the
they're gonna talk crap.
medium they're inhabiting, are grandstanding, purity testing, and claiming parts of cultures and identities, calling out behaviors that are relatively normal and encouraged in said culture, but is not normal to them, viewing non-Western media with Western lens. I live by the principle that when you're in a foreign soil, you should publicly act according to their culture and rules.
Yeah.
When in Rome,
Do as Romans do. Yeah.
do as the Romans do. The tourists, non-derogatory, are people who actually do respect the culture they're participating in. Even if they don't necessarily like some of their norms, they don't mind or pay it no heed. They can even choose to ignore it as long as they don't cause trouble, don't claim things, don't grandstand, or start moral policing and preaching. They actually take their time and learn, and being generally open-minded with the things that they see, even if they dislike some parts of it. The tourists, derogatory, are people who don't do this. In VTubing, for example, this takes the sheer form of LARPing imbeciles calling Bibu fans, Gura fans, or even Shondo fans pedos, or calling out VTubers / art to have Asian body types for their VTubers as pedo bait.
Oh yeah, those people. Those people are like crazy in my opinion. Like, I don't know. Okay, that's going to sound a bit harsh, but maybe in like 50 years time, we might have potentially be able to dissect their brains, right, and see if there's actually something wrong. Maybe. Okay, hear me out. Maybe there's something wrong with their brains. Okay. And I'm not saying that in a rude way. I'm just thinking science, okay? Scientifically.
Could also be extremely misinformed individuals thinking that idol culture is universally bad and that anyone who participate in it, fan or VTuber, are peddling an extremely predatory way of content. But you see, in a way perhaps this was actually bound to happen. Anime culture has been invaded by these insects already.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure as anime becomes much more popular, it's only going to get even fucking worse.
See, and that's why I'm glad that in the... Is it fall? I think it's... Yeah. I think it's literally next season, the fall of 2026, we get 2 erotica anime. That is the sign of progress. You know, that is the sign of progress and a sign of, like, anime not changing.
I'd like to talk about examples in the general and broad weeb community before we get right back into VTubing, because I think they serve as a precursor as to what VTuber fans should have expected when VTubing became popular. I could start from Gamergate, because realistically, I think that's when a lot of stuff happened in the general nerd culture stuff.
Yeah.
But let's stick to anime and public sentiment first. I distinctly remember the massive shift happening around 2023, all the way up to
2023. Sure.
Around this time was the massive rise and trend of feminism and gender equality, to a point that a lot of companies hopped into the trend and were pretending to care about issues they actually...
You know, you know, when IKEA is in Saudi Arabia during Pride Month, there is no Pride Month. But when IKEA is in like Europe during Pride Month, there is Pride Month. You know.
They didn't care about. All for PR and for money that was apparently promised to them by BlackRock or something.
This money was promised. It was 3,000 years ago.
It actually upped the movement across most entertainment media.
Yes.
We had Hollywood doing it. We had gaming doing it. Everyone was doing it. In the industry side of things, it started from the rising sentiment of the slangs used by anime fans. During this time, for example, trap was being talked about as a slur by what these people...
Remember the fact that trap literally caused the Reddit community to create 2, not 1, 2 bloody meme subreddits for anime, because there was the anime memes and there's the good anime memes, you know, and right, I think that it's something like that. Like those sort of subreddits are called that, you know. But the fact that literally over this one term, a whole subreddit literally split it into like literally a whole another thing. Actually, I by the way, I actually prefer the newer one, the one that was like the people that literally decided, nah, you're talking crap, I'm gonna make my own one. You know, I prefer that one, honestly. They have more memes, better memes, honestly.
People formerly called SJWs was doing.
Do you remember SJWs, Social Justice Warriors? I feel like I'm watching bloody 2016 video
Remember when
right
they
now.
used to be called Social Justice Warriors?
Yeah, I remember that.
Jesus Christ. Either way, trap in anime contexts is when a guy...
Okay. I don't get it. Why you be showing this? Like what? Boys? Yeah, boys. Yeah, girls, girls. Yeah, whatever.
Who may look androgynous or feminine and actually passes as a very attractive girl, people may low-key or high-key want to bone. The opposite gender, a girl pretending to be a boy and passing off as an attractive guy, is called reverse trap. Now, people in the anime and community had always had lighthearted fun with this meme.
I'm not sure if that if we go back, but yeah, Naga, by the way, is the guy from what was the anime called? Golden Kamuy, and he's like a very old guy, by the way.
Because a lot of animes featured very attractive guys. Astolfo from Fate is the most popular example. Felix from ReZero. Nagisa from Assassination Classroom as well. Nobody hates these characters, as far as we all
No, there's a lot of people that love these characters. Literally.
remember, they were actually decent characters and people were horny posting on main.
Yeah.
Meaning the possibility of being gay just to be able to tap them and for wanting to tap them. But the fun stopped because these SJWs decided that trap was a slur. If you say it, you are a bad person and you just offended the entire
Oh boy, I'm a bad person. Can't believe it.
community, the entire trans community, because it was under the lens of
Honestly, like, the whole thing with, like, cross-dressing, being trans is, like, scary. It's crazy to me. Because, like, I understand the term trap being offensive to transvestite community. Because, by the way, if you don't know, transvestite are the people that cross-dress. Have you heard of that? And by the fact that literally a transgender community takes over the word trap and finds it derogatory to them, it literally undermines the transvestite community. See this? There is inner fighting within the people that are like doing, cross-dressing stuff. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Such a disrespect for transvestite people, Can't believe it. I feel like most people don't even know that transvestite is even a word. Like, and I don't mean like, when I say most people, I mean like both sides. Like, the right-wing people probably don't know that. The left-wing people probably don't know that. The transgender people, they 100% probably don't know that either. Like there's quite the word that is like literally forgotten, and quite the people that are literally also forgotten, in my opinion. But whatever.
Somebody. This discussion was actually relevant in VTubing because back in 2022, Finana banned the word trap in her chat and decided to go for the Twitter infamous educate yourself incident.
Honestly, a based guy here.
I don't like bringing this topic up again because I have a feeling Finana may actually no longer feel this way. Like she actually got educated.
She got educated. True.
Correct me if I'm wrong though. It's drama from 2022, so who fucking cares? Still, the topic is important because the discussion carried over.
Honestly, whenever I see a VTuber saying "get educated," I feel something internally go like, my soul is like feeling depressed when I see that, because VTubers and content creators are not the most educated people out there, Now, that's a big statement. Like, that's a pretty significant statement here, They are not the most educated people. They might look intelligent sometimes, Sometimes not. But they are not the most educated people out there. I can certify for that. Like, even if, I identify myself as intelligent, but I also identify myself as a dumb idiot. Quite often as well. There has to be balance, I'm not gonna be preaching stuff.
Anime culture stuff that SJWs were getting
I like that he literally censored the bounce effect here.
out for fan service in anime. Now, I actually dislike excessive fan service in anime, but when fan service has a plot relevance, when fan service has a reason, or is the entire premise of the show, it's fair game.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Keijo.
High School DxD, Kill La Kill, High School of the Dead. These are apparently
Keijo.
problematic because of, well, fan service.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these settings were based in high school and high schoolers are minors, I guess. It got to a point that My Hero Academia fan service, My Hero Academia being a very popular entry point for a lot of these fucking tourists, really hated it when any female character in the show had some fan service. It's really
Is he going to talk about the fact that Mr. Horikoshi, the creator of My Hero Academia, has been in quite the situation because of his enjoyment of fan service? And I do mean it, the guy does enjoy fan service. Like, who doesn't? He likes to draw that. I like to see that. We are enjoyers of good things. You guys probably like to see fan service as well.
hard to engage with these people in good faith because they unironically think fiction equals reality. Because
That's actually insane to me. Like, people that think fiction is a reality are probably the dumbest people out there. Even if they have like certifications and even if they have a lot of money, you know? Like, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how many diplomas you got. If you think fiction is reality, then bro, you need to get a mental check, you know? Get your head checked.
they are close-minded, using Western standards and using it to judge and consume non-Western media. As an example, okay, just a very minor example, Ludwig said he liked Madoka Magica, and here's the reaction of the people around him.
You are a fucking chomo.
Yep. No, Zipper, can you pull up Madoka Magica?
What are you getting him to do that for?
I'm just asking a question.
1,000 years old?
That's what I'm saying. That's what we always do, and we always make excuses for these fucking people.
What a tired. Okay, so just tell me.
Right. So what are we doing?
Go to images. I'm just asking if Puella Magi Madoka Magica would count for this category you're talking about.
If I meet somebody, if I start a new job and my coworker says this is his favorite anime, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you after work.
Yeah, we're gonna kill you, man.
Wouldn't do that.
We're gonna beat the shit out of by the dumpster.
We're gonna turn the water up slowly until you don't notice it's boiling.
I'd talk to them less.
It's a good show.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything, but it's on my list to watch someday. I'm not really into magical girls, no. But I heard it's pretty decent.
Ludwig.
Okay.
Why is that? When is that ever a good enough reason?
These people would probably kill themselves when exposed to other cultures beyond what Hollywood or, I don't know, literally any non-Western thing shows up on the silver screen. And then some of these people get promotions, get higher into the food chain, and become responsible for part of its distributions, such as dubbing and translation. A very infamous example of dubbing actually came from the Dragon-made anime. Well, I'll just show it to you.
What are you wearing that for? Oh, those pesky patriarchal societal demands were getting on my
Yeah,
nerves.
I don't think that was in the manga. I don't think that was in the original anime made by Kyoto Animation.
So I changed clothes. Give it a week, they'll be begging you to change back.
何ですかその格好。いつも言われるから露出度を抑えたんだ。どうかな。次は体を変えるといいですよ。
That was unapologetically, absolutely nasty. And it seems like the voice actress was super unapologetic and smug about it too. It's not just...
You bet she enjoyed doing that line. You bet. She only could wish she could say it IRL, you know?
anime. In Japanese games, this has also been an occurrence. There was a controversy about how Dragon Baby Inc., where in the game Union Syndrome, they were...
Wait, this game was controversial. Wait. There was a bad English localization. What happened here?
apparently making shit up about the game's translations, putting in political shenanigans in air.
No. Changes made to the game have clipped out phrases like okay.
Areas where it's not relevant and don't belong there. And apparently, they are going to be localizing one of the games that I am actually high-key excited for, Puki Goddess, and suffice to say, I don't know why this studio was kept. I'd like to note that political commentary in many animes are a real thing. I don't want to come across as looking like anime is this politics-free zone of entertainment where I get...
It's not. You literally you have this guy from Psychopass. This guy is based. I like him, kind of. but no. You literally have Psychopass, which is like this political dystopia. You have what else there is like. I would say quite a lot of anime don't really do politics as in politics, but more so the socio-economics. Socio-economics tend to be a quite significant topic in quite a few anime. Like Kaiji is more historical, I would say. What was the other anime? Boy, I can't think of anime right now. Because there was Kaiji and there was this other anime made by the same guy. God damn it. By the same guy? I'm not sure even if it was by the same guy. I feel stupid right now. What was the name called? I don't know. whatever. But yeah, there are anime literally you quite often talking about the socioeconomics. Like actually, pretty good example of recent socioeconomic anime is like the one about the smoking by the supermarket anime. That's quite socioeconomic because you're seeing Japan from the perspective of a guy that's literally working for a shady company. That's quite socioeconomic story in my opinion.
Sensitive about anything political that touches my anime. Problem is, these fucking unbelonging tourists and DEI hires put it in places it doesn't belong, ignores any and all existing.
Personally, I like when there's like, when you have a sci-fi anime and you talk like politics, I like that. I personally like that. But when you're like, when you're inserting the politics into the anime by adding on top of like stuff that happens, like we have like let's say Dragon Maid, like that is not a political anime. You add politics to that. What's the point? Why would you do that? Like you have, let's say, what's like a good example of like slime. You add some weird modern day politics to slime. Like why would you do that?
Political commentary, especially Japanese coded ones, in order to force theirs in. And when people call it out, they pull out the ists and phobics and isms, thus creating conflict.
You are being Western dubbingophobic for don't liking American dubs of anime.
Creating unnecessary drama and heat for the company and the source material that they work with, putting a bad rep on their own movement too. Then it moved to journalists. Kotaku and IGN and Game Rant became
Does Kotaku even still exist? I haven't seen them since forever.
very prominent examples of this. I'm sure that if you've roughly followed how these people talk about nerd culture, then you've already found their angle and behavior more than a little perplexing. But what's truly perplexing to me is how these people were able to get the positions they were able to get in the first place. I know there's been talk about how BlackRock's DEI policies were responsible for it, putting in people who aren't qualified for their roles, people who aren't even
BlackRock. Okay, hear me out. Put me into some decent media position. I'm gonna do whatever. Give me the money. Just give me the goddamn money. Like, bro, personal opinion here, okay? If they told me, turn this to crap, right? And they gave me quite a lot of money, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna turn this to crap. Unless it's anime. That is one thing that I would that is one thing I would like not negotiate on. I'm like I'm not turning anime into crap, not happening. That is like the only last piece of media that I can actually watch and enjoy. Except YouTube videos, okay? But YouTube videos are independent, That's so funny. Like, okay, YouTube videos are independent. The only last piece of like media that's created by companies is like anime for me. Literally, I cannot watch movies. I have a hard time watching movies. That's because I have very low attention span. But I have enough attention span to watch 24-minute anime video. Anime episode, anime video, anime music video. Remember those? They still exist, I think. Yeah, they do. Maybe a little bit copyrighted on YouTube, but they still exist.
Interested, put into workspaces and cultures they don't belong in for no other reason than them being a minority. I'm a minority, and I fucking hate this. But
bro is Filipino.
See, I think that's the goal. They either manufacture outrage, misinterpret.
I'm a minority. I come from Poland. That's a minority.
Slangs or terms because it loosely translates to whatever political shenanigans they want to use without proper context, or they knowingly infect spaces that don't belong to them for the sake of spreading the agenda. They don't care about the media they're yapping about, they just have some bullshit to spread. Beyond the politics, it's clear that they have no respect, no class, and no real interest in the culture and the community that they're part of. Even if you are an ally, even if you agree with their politics, it's not enough. They just don't like you. And in lieu of them being not a fan at all, they have inadvertently caused people to swing to the other side. Look, I actually genuinely believe that. I was there when it happened, at a time when I didn't have any stake in any of these internet politics. But enough of what happened in the past. Let's move on to the present. I've loosely nudged...
Oh boy, it took us 15 minutes to get to the present day. That was hard.
On the idea that the strat of the tourist is to come in droves onto a growing or small and niche community.
Yeah.
They dictate what they do and don't like, infect what made that community niche and interesting, then they keep inviting more people in and spreading their influence due to it until they reach opinion leader status. or become authority figures in a way until they effectively push the original fan
Until they push out the original fans, the thing is gone, and they move on to another thing, literally. And the companies are like, it went so well. What happened? We did all the changes they wanted, and now it's dead. How could this be? No way. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, no way. The people that were, the people moved on to turn another thing into crap.
and inhabitants of that culture. This is when these people evolved from tourist to colonizer. One example of this happening is in Uma Musume. The situation went when a person who just only got into Uma Musume.
What happened to my what happened to my funny horse game? What they do? What they do?
And don't really know the game at all that much, got invited to become a mod.
Are you freaking drunk?
Problem is, the sentence prior to what I just said. They don't know the game that much. They don't know the story. Don't know the history of the Umas and even the
check person.
company that they're representing aside from what Twitter tells them. But what they do is enforce beliefs that even in the context of the game actually don't make sense and banning people for having fun with it.
Right.
So one has to ask, even if I don't know how this process was done, why and how the fuck were these people given positions of power in the first place?
Yeah.
When they obviously just don't know too much of the game. I feel like it's common sense if you are going to be an authority or opinion leader of a community or genre.
Hear me out. What if they got a favor from the moderator for doing something? You know? it could have happened.
Or media, you should at the very least have intermediate levels of engagement with it. Your ball knowledge doesn't have to be elite, at the very least it has to be respectable. So how? Legit fucking how? Aside from the whole DEI thing, perhaps because being loud works. Being loud,
being loud works. It does work. I can tell you that. If you go onto the internet and you bitch about for long enough, and that's my video probably gone from the algorithm for one word, but if you do that, and then you're gonna see results. The result is you're gonna be engagement farming. That's literally what engagement bait is. Being loud. So you go on Twitter, you're gonna start moaning, and then you're gonna get results.
Caps lock and relying on Twitter likes, real or botted, from individuals who politically agree with you but don't even know or like the media you're talking about, gives the impression of the majority. You have these fucking gimmick accounts LARPing as Umas and doing or broadcasting things that are the antithesis of what those Umas are all about. These are people who only discovered what the hell Uma Musume was and joined the bandwagon when it came out, and all of a sudden they're acting like they've been fans and forcing headcanons that aren't real. Attempting to force headcanons, by the way, their delusions, are a very common thing these people do, as we'll see later. But as a major example of this, another major example of this from Uma Musume, we had a bit of an interesting tourist insisting loudly.
Meet the fake Uma Musume fans. Exclusively ships trainer ex Uma. Only calls her Mambo. I feel like I'm fake Uma Musume fan now because I do call her Mambo. Because her name is pretty long, okay? Agnes. Okay. Oh yes, Agnes Tachyon. Glue Factory. Constantly complains about Yuri. Yuri is great. My favorite ship, you know? My favorite ships. Talks about aerobreeding. What? Okay. Okay, body Uma Musume. Okay.
Declaring that people should stop drawing Umas with their trainers or shipping them with men. They are not for you, they said. All while not even finishing or playing a lot of these Umas campaigns.
I mean, I played some of the campaigns. Just to get carrots, you know?
Musume is apparently built for Yuri friends. And while Uma Musume does have Yuri elements, and there's even nothing necessarily wrong with playing with those ideas and letting your imaginations run wild, Uma Musume was absolutely not marketed for you. Uma Musume was marketed towards overworked, horse race gambling addicted, idol-loving Japanese salarymen who just want to go for some waifus. While yes, as a Yuri fan, you can absolutely enjoy some Uma Yuri, I'm not saying this game isn't for you because if you enjoy it, then you enjoy it, but it's more of a consequence of the setting. Don't pretend like the Yuri was promised to you 3,000 years ago or something.
It wasn't.
These people are examples of the tourist derogatory, people who have never known or was even interested in the game and its fan base, who insists upon their extreme.
By the way, chat, hear me out. Comment down below what your favorite Uma is. My personal favorite, Saiyan Sky. Okay, there we go.
Extremely hostile and delusional.
It came literally on the spot to me that I could just ask you guys that, because like I actually wonder, like I know some people that like nice nature, for example. What's like another example? There's a lot of people that like Tamao. What's her last name? Tamao something.
Head canons for the game and its culture and pushes it out for the world. And usually these tourists, derogatory, come from age ranges between underage to 23. Of course, some people are over 25, but those I've seen are far and few between. There are people who haven't really experienced much of the culture of the internet, and the opinions that they have are sentiments that their usually Western fandoms have already entrenched themselves in. So anything that is even a little spicy or unconventional from Western standards is a bit...
I feel like I have a very different experience of the internet compared to like many people my age, usually. Because like, most people my age tend to be on the normie-ish side of things, like especially from Poland, but like even from UK as well. People from like around my age tend to be on the normie-ish side. At least the ones I met in real life, you know. But you know, what was I going to say? Yeah, they tend to be on a normish side, and I was like experiencing internet since like forever, basically. So I do remember quite a lot of internet, and I like never properly engaged with like communities as well. I was like, okay, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna engage with those people. Those people look crazy. Literally, that was literally my experience of internet. You know, most of the time.
Of an alien concept to them. They are also super young and usually aren't open-minded, so it makes sense that they usually screech about these sorts of things. Some of them might even grow out of it eventually. But even enjoyers of...
I hope that some of them will grow out of it eventually.
Non-Western media are not exempt from this. Casual anime enjoyers, especially COVID weebs, are prone to liking the very surface of anime and Japan as a culture.
COVID weebs. The people that don't know that salarymen overwork themselves. That's why isekai is great, because it's like, oh yes, you're overworking yourself, mate. Let's get isekai'd, you know? I would like to be isekai'd.
I'm not saying that Japan's culture is all good. I have my own gripes, and I've expressed said gripes about parts of Japanese nerd culture before. But there are too many things that I think are demonized. And again, it not being your taste is not the problem. It's when you force that and your politics into other people's throat and think yourself morally superior for it. It's again, when you use Western lens to look at non-Western media. We have a situation, for example, where for some reason the demons in Frieren have become a racial analogy when it is clearly not supposed to be. Demons are different species who evolved to develop human-like features and language to eat them better. They are predators. They are not a race. They are a species who have different morals and principles from humanity. And yet we have people...
And we have people literally considering demons as a different race.
Insisting that Frieren glorifies racism, that it co-ops white supremacists or whatever. Brother, nobody said that. They were insisting some sort of moral issue with the demons even after...
Okay. So, you telling me... Okay, so because they are like saying race, okay, that demons are race, right? Different race, okay. So and it's an allegory for races, right? So they mean that there is a whole race of people that are backstabbing, basically, and that we should do bad things to those people. Well, I don't think that is the case, because everybody is different, you know. So that means the people that came up with this theory are actually racist. Wow.
After it was explained why they can't coexist with humans, and for some reason, some of these people interpreted this as a white supremacist analogy.
The more people die, the more you want to coexist, the more people die, literally.
A fucking Japanese media apparently is white supremacist. That's crazy. They are making up scenarios in...
Can you imagine this? Asians are being white supremacist.
...their head to get upset about. So to piss people even more, the counterculture to this actually started being racist or did actually attract actual racists. Again, just...
I love this. It's just like when you create counterculture and when you do something and you think you're on the right side of history, and then the people create counterculture and are actually like, you know, the people you didn't want to see do the thing, and it's like, bro.
To piss you people off. You are also apparently a disgusting human being if you enjoy Mushoku Tensei.
I am a disgusting human being. I enjoy Mushoku Tensei.
Because Rudius and the characters in the series are not the shining beacon of morality that they...
I love that Mushoku Tensei and Tanya the Evil are coming out at the same time, so we have like all of those memes that's like, this is a child, this is an adult. That both of the, it's like you know, it's Tanya from the freaking thing, and she's being called a child, and then you have Rudius here who's like being called an adult. I mean, at this point in the story, he is an adult. He's over 18, I think, in the story right now. But yeah, whatever.
Come to expect from all main characters in any media. I've legit seen people pearl clutch about how the show glorifies grooming, pedophilia, and polyamory for some reason. These people, again, legit act like a piece of fiction is a reflection of reality, so it's hard to meaningfully engage with them in a real discussion. Another case are a bunch of these new weebs being angry that the...
Oh my days. This one was quite, you know, quite hard, because like the Gachikuta, great anime. The fact that the creator was literally kicked out from Twitter because of because people went haywire is freaking stupid. I feel bad for this creator. Like, what's going on here? Like, this is like next level. Literally, next level. Like, you cannot be a manga artist and then be on Twitter, because what's going to happen to you? Well, apparently you're going to get harassed by your own fans, you know? Like, people are crazy. I feel like, you know what should be happening? Like, those people should probably be on a list, a watch list, maybe. Like, those are the people that shouldn't be allowed on the internet, you know? Like, maybe instead of banning, like, having everybody ID'd on the internet, maybe what we should do is actually identify the people that use by the IP address, right? I know the government probably could do that by the IP address, right? And we should literally like take away their permission to use the internet. You know, maybe that's like a good idea. And I know that's really going to backfire on me, because I mean, I'm not like the type of person that would like be very rude to people on the internet, like, you know, creators and stuff like that. I am the type of person that's very rude to people during a Valorant game, and I want to tell very rude things to my teammates because they are dog shit at the game. That would backfire on me, you know? but it would make the internet a bad place, probably, you know?
Reposted a video where a guy was cosplaying the character Jabber with leeks hanging from his head, which are supposed to be a black guy's locks. This was apparently very racist, and the author...
So this is what happened, okay. I thought that was a funny cosplay myself, like, I don't see a problem here. That's just funny cosplay. What's going on?
Deserved all manner of harassment, name-calling, and death threats. Obviously...
Okay, hear me out. I bet, black people, some of the black people that saw that, they probably thought that that's very funny, you know? Like... I'm pretty confident they did. I'm pretty confident they did. Like, you know, black guys tend to be chill, in my opinion. Like, that's from my experience of black people. They tend to be very chill people, you know? And I bet, like, so some of them would find it funny. Like, I don't think they would find it racist. Like, you know. I don't think, at least. I don't know. Maybe you did find it racist. Maybe tell me that. Maybe I have a skewed worldview or something, you know?
This was more than stupid, where even the animators and she responded in a way that I felt deserving, blocking people and calling them the children that they are.
Yeah.
Before that, there were even people trying to insist that she is apparently non-binary. Whatever gender identity they started to hallucinate, and she low-key mocked
She... Oh my days.
them because of it. Judging a person's gender identity is an insensitive and offensive thing, unless they are doing it.
Yeah, literally, you can say you're bloody non-binary yourself. Like, you can do that. Don't tell somebody is non-binary. Like, don't call a femboy a trans person. Because I've seen you do that. I've seen you people do that, you know. Don't do that. That's stupid. Like, you know, like, bloody diagnosing people with gender or something. Guys, hear me out. I diagnose you as attack helicopter.
It's not just Gachiakuta that is.
Actually, does anybody remember the whole bloody chart of genders from like 2015-16 ish? I was like, oh yes, genders. Like you have bloody male, female, demi-female, non-binary, transgender. There was like what attack helicopter, Pluto, Mercury. And so on and so forth. And there was the literally whole section of gender being zodiac signs as well.
Getting shit from this. There's also One Piece. I can talk about how Logan Paul, the parasite that he is, trying to worm his way into the One Piece fandom just so he can grift and hustle his way into anime, just to siphon as much money and clout that he can. And the original script and recording in this segment, I recorded this fucking video 3 times, specifically just shitting on Logan Paul, was originally like 6 minutes long.
We don't need the 6 minutes of shitting on Logan Paul. He does it himself every time he like does anything. To be honest, you save your time, mate. You know, you save your time, Nousagi. We don't need that.
There was just too much to say about him, but I decided to cut it out of the video because I realized that while he is a big boss of tourists, a gigalarper, and should be shut out from anything anime related, he does not care. He does not believe in any of this. In fact, he wants people like me to talk about him because it'll only spread his notoriety and, you know, affect his bottom line in a positive way. He fakes being a fan, but there's like this slimy upfrontness of his grift. It's very odd, a sort of counterintuitive kind of way. The tourists that I'm currently shitting on aren't upfront about their grift because it's not a grift they're mainly after.
Yeah, they're not grifting. They're doing something completely different.
It's a conversion, although both is a good result. A means to push an agenda, twist messages, mince words, misrepresent the intent, and tell the authors that.
See, Logan Paul does it for money. The people do it for their stupid ideals. You know, when somebody does something for stupid ideals, I don't think it's a good idea. When somebody does it for money, I don't really care.
They know better than the actual fucking authors. Because while we're in the topic of One Piece, they are actually quite infamous in this same franchise. Because some people insist that Yamato is trans, which we know that she is.
Oh boy. What they done to this person? Like, Yamato was, like, during the whole Kaido saga, you know, the whole Wano country arc, you know? Yamato was literally my favorite character. I literally went, like, I caught up to One Piece when, like, literally, we got into Wano, and she became like my favorite character literally from that moment on. I enjoyed her being there, you know.
Card's official sources, supervised by the author himself, says that she is a she.
She is a she.
The reason why she says this is because she idolizes Odin so much she identifies and emulates as literally him. Identifies herself as everything about him. Certain people believe that she is trans because of this. Again, despite official sources saying otherwise.
No.
And One Piece fans who believe this will get mad and try to mentally gymnast their way into thinking, oh, the cards aren't written by Oda himself. Brother!
They are.
He supervises and approves them.
Yeah, literally, he does supervise and approves them. True. Oda is literally everywhere when there is something going on. Like if it's like if it has a proper, you know, proper One Piece sign on it, right? It's like Oda approved. If he's not there and something gets going, then it's like not Oda approved. We don't care about it, basically. Like it doesn't matter, you know.
Heck, the One Piece fandom wiki falls right into this delusion too. Like, what do you mean the cards are written by him, but we don't know if he wrote her card specifically? Like what? We're using vagueness for your agenda? When in that same sentence you acknowledge that Oda writing it himself makes it most likely that you're wrong? This isn't even transphobia for me. This is just me trying to be real with people.
Yeah,
because for these tourists, for these colonizers, the need where their headcanons have to be real for some reason are the cause of many of the arguing on Twitter. This didn't and shouldn't have needed to be a conversation, but for some reason, it is.
Yeah.
Data books or guides supervised by the authors themselves are considered secondary canon, meaning that unless contradicted from the source material, which would include the manga and the author's word, they are canon. They are also typically just summaries of parts of existing source material that we already know of at the time of its publication. and a lot of the parts of them are also outsourced to third-party companies, such as the flavor text and the power scaling measurements. So of course, there's going to be some things in there that are wrong, inaccurate, or outdated.
Yeah.
And those things are usually plot points, details about somebody's abilities or powers, or something that wasn't revealed to audiences at the time. Not something like someone's gender identity. And while I am aware that One Piece, I would like to think, is a very progressive anime, especially
It is quite progressive.
a lot of its colorful representations. So I understand why there's a lot of progressive people who have this sentiment, but let's not hallucinate here. Aside from that, Oda released One Piece art that featured all the female cast, and surprise, surprise,
Yeah.
Yamato was there. Again, full-blown statement in front of your eyes that she is a woman. But Twitter people reacted to it the same way you'd expect. It's entirely different if you wanna believe that characters are a certain way. Headcanons are a fun way to consume media and delve deep into themes and stories, as long as you do not insist upon it and most definitely do not deny and threaten the author for it. Jesus, anime has a lot of real and actually decent queer representation.
Honestly, like, this is the most annoying part of, like, the tourists. It's like they attack the author, and it's like, bro, please keep on going. Please keep cooking. Please cooking. You know, like, don't care about them. Forget about them. Please, just do your thing. You know, it's gonna be okay. Big money is waiting for you. That's like whenever I see like the people attacking a author of a manga, I'm like, just keep on cooking. You know, it's fine. It's going to be okay. They'll forget the next day. You know.
Most of them even better than how forced Hollywood portrays it. We have so many like Lily from Zombieland Saga, an actual trans character, Leo and Galio from Promare, the most bombastically epic gay representation I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And the stream of Yuri anime, and very recently, Kirara from Jujutsu Kaisen. So despite all of that, why are we forcing people into gender identities they don't actually identify as, and why are we literally harassing?
Oh boy, there is the there was this anime called something Astra, right? Great remembrance here. You know, great remembering here. You know, something Astra, great, yeah. And they had a intersex person. Imagine this: intersex representation in anime in 21st century. Like, those people, they literally should be like, you know, they should be like whatever the hell they do when they see that, because we don't get that. Like, I'm pretty confident those people don't even care about intersex people. Like, they probably don't know what intersex people are. But intersex representation, you know, that's impressive. That's something new.
Creators for not conforming into your delusions. I've said this in the past, but I'm actually an LGBT ally. Despite how many of my detractors, my edgy jokes, and
yeah, I'm the same way as Nousagi is, kind of, because I am an ally. Like, I hang out with gay people quite often, and I do mean gay people, like gay guys. You know, I know quite a few lesbians as well. Whatever. I literally like had trans people at university that I talked to. Used to talk to. I don't really like, you know, I don't really tend to talk to a lot of people IRL, but I did talk to like some trans people as well. You know, there you go. Putting this out there. Like, I know quite a few like people that do cross dressing as well. Like, I did cross dressing once myself. Like, just saying here this out there. Like, you know, I know quite a few people that are like in the LGBTQ community that tend to be like more on the more normal side of like being, you know, people. You know, they're just like regular people, not really like, you know, the whole shtick of like insanely social media, internet addicted. They're gonna be preaching to you every day. They're just like regular people, literally.
how I'm yapping about it right now seems to suggest. But I'm not the mindlessly unquestioning, uncritically obedient, agenda-following ally that a very extreme part
literally this.
of the movement wants me to be, and because of that, I don't belong there. I will call you retarded when you are being retarded. I'd like representation, but I don't want it to be forced. I want it done properly.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, your Nousagi is equal parts chud and woke.
Inside you, there are two wolves. So true.
In the way that matters, in my opinion. But it's this exact same annoying headcanon claiming demographic that's spilling into VTubing. Heck, I'll even list more examples that I listed earlier. These people were harassing Zendaya for having a Nazi outfit. She had a justified crash out.
Where is that bloody outfit? I liked that. Whenever I see a VTuber that has like a military uniform outfit, I'm like, that looks so freaking cool. I want one of those as well. Maybe someday I'm gonna have myself a military uniform outfit, you know? Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna be less broke someday, and I'm gonna have like a money for model, you know? A proper model, not like something that like anybody can use on the internet, literally.
Calling the woke cancel culture bullshit out and then being accused of being a MAGA grifter. Everyone that these people don't like is a MAGA grifter, apparently. Another. Nichi
guys, I'm a MAGA grifter. I'm not even from America. Make Europe great again, or something, you know?
Sisters being upset that Vermillion of Nijian acknowledged Men's Mental Health Day.
Can't believe it. I can't believe it. A guy, a man acknowledging men's health awareness month, you know? A guy doing that, you know? Can you imagine? Guys actually, like, you know, appreciating men's mental health month, you know? I mean, men's health awareness month, I mean, yeah. Can you imagine that? I can't believe it. Wow.
That they say he even downplayed Pride Month because of this. And lastly, apparently the word hag as a VTuber term is apparently misogynist, rooted in misogyny, but we aren't ready for that conversation.
Wow, we aren't ready for the word hag. Because apparently somebody is unhappy about the word hag. How interesting, you know? Who knew?
As if to suggest that the people using it are speaking with sexist undertones whenever they say it to a VTuber.
I don't know why, but I feel like maybe this person is thinking that the word hag is utilized as a way to, you know, to use the male gaze upon the VTuber that is potentially has quote unquote mature body or something like that, and is acting in a manner that is like 30-ish plus or something like that, and I don't know. I would have to like put it down on paper probably and maybe think about it for a little bit longer for me to have like a proper statement about this, because I think I know what might be going on there when it comes to, like, you know, when you're thinking about it from like the perspective of, you know, media representation, male gaze and stuff like that. But I'm scared. I'm scared, you know.
And she tries to excuse this by saying that she's just not comfortable with it.
I'm not comfortable with it, wow.
These people fall under the umbrella of slacktivists who don't really know what they are talking about,
yeah.
Either because they're too young to understand these concepts and have little media literacy, or because they just don't understand the media or the culture that they're in, and they do not have any other frame of reference beyond their need to be morally in the right, the white savior complex, the victim complex, and the Eurocentric.
Can we have a moment to appreciate Pikami? just like, bro, this model was so cute.
Views. One has to recognize the parallels of what happened in anime and video games, and now VTubing. Because these colonizers saw VTubing as an easy next step in their careers, and to be honest, I understand the vision. VTubing is a very free platform. The ability to bypass your actual physical appearance and identification, the ability to represent yourself however you want, is a very awesome thing. That's why it was mostly inhabited by nerds, neets, losers, and conventionally unattractive people. And yes, this does include the LGBTQ community. It's a way to balance the scales and attempt to have just as much of a chance of success as attractive streamers and content creators, especially for women, since looks play a massive role in the success of streaming for them. And if you're already an anime fan or a fan of animation, art, and general fandom stuff, it was the next natural step. There was also a lot of money pouring in despite being a dozen times smaller than the general streaming industry. But a lot of opportunists and tourists saw that chance, only understood that part of VTubing, only understood the medium, not the culture, and they refused to. They don't understand that just like any other community, VTubing has its own set of stuff going on. The system is largely rooted in Japanese culture, both the good parts and bad parts of it. So what they do is throw it.
That's why male VTubers tend to have a boyfriend experience, because we see, I actually that is something massive. I'm gonna say male VTuber culture. I feel like it's more like the host club culture in Japan than it's like the idol culture. You know, that's what I think the male VTuber culture is like, especially in Japan. I feel like maybe, and maybe in the West as well. To be honest, because there's like this like host club-esque otome kind of vibe to it.
Out of the window, call themselves a VTuber because the definition is the only thing that matters to them. Technically, yes. Slapping a moving PNG and rigging it to a face tracking software constitutes someone as a VTuber.
Yeah.
But that's like saying I'm Hispanic just because I'm brown, and I guess technically a descendant of Spanish blood.
Well, then maybe you are Hispanic, on paper at least.
Or saying that a person of Filipino descent is still Filipino even though they've been raised in America their entire life and has never even set foot in the Philippines.
I mean, with that, you know what, Nousagi, with the way American logic works, that's kind of that might work out. That might work out for their logic, because I've seen Americans that have never been to Germany call themselves German,
I think when you undertake a label or title, you need to identify with that, culturally speaking, not just because you technically are it. I think to really call yourself a VTuber, you don't even need to follow all the unspoken rules or agree with the vague and sometimes arbitrary terms of the industry. You just need to learn it, explore the industry, be respectful, be open-minded, and don't get into drama or speak out unless you really understand it. For example, not everyone likes GFE. While cultivating a wily parasocial audience is a thing many VTubers do that makes people uncomfortable, you don't have to do that. You can just ignore it, leave people alone who do it, and move on with how you want to proceed with your career and make your own community. Instead of calling them fucking predators. If lollies make you uncomfortable, that's fine. We have acquaintances that have this opinion, but in the culture, it's kinda normal.
Yeah.
Just don't engage with it. And
literally, don't engage with it. Just like if you see one of those on Twitter, don't follow, block. Actually, no, don't block, because blocking is quite rude. Mute. You mute people,
on. If you see a particular kind of drama between VTubers or fandoms you don't even know until 10 minutes ago, maybe don't say anything and engage in needless shit-flinging for drama that you ultimately have zero stakes in. But that's not what these people will do. For
I mean, React content.
reason, they will call VTubers that cultivate parasocial audiences predatory. They're fans, groomers. They will say lollies are pedobait and you are a pedophile if you like some rocks. They will comment and
Bro, you like rocks? Oh man, that is you are the most vile person ever. You like rocks.
situation and figures. They know jack shit. And
wait, wouldn't that mean that all of the women that are into like stones, rock and stone, and the gemstones be Yeah, okay. That's quite the statement here. Okay, we are cooking,
what they think is a good and moral thing. They will use VTubing and their community as a means to spread an agenda, instead of doing what made VTubing fun in the first place. Escapism. A means to entertain and be entertained. So if you're more stressed out about the stuff in VTubing that makes you uncomfortable than you are more concerned and stressed about making content, then this place may not be for you. They will e-beg for money, not just because of their consistently bad financial decisions, but because they saw how all the big VTubers have their massive whales, and they'd like to have a piece of that without doing the work that
I would like a piece of that. Big dreams.
that big VTubers did in the first place. They will complain about how Hololive essentially gave certain VTubers a fast path to success. But that's the problem, see? They treat our hobbies and culture like fun novelties instead of actually meaningfully understanding or engaging with it. This is how we get multiple, retardedly avoidable indie drama, the multiple community sparking, the civil wars, even the wars between VTuber and non-VTuber fans.
Yeah.
What is it that these people say? My culture is not your costume or something? But I guess this attempt at purity testing and moral grandstanding only applies to people they don't like, not to themselves.
Do we remember the acronym when the acronym word for cute and funny that you can no longer say, basically? Rest in peace, rest in peace. Back in the good old days, that was quite the word,
To anyone that they're associated with. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, Chief. This video is obviously supremely negative. I feel like an unhinged schizophrenic, but that's because
I mean, okay. The video is in itself is quite negative, but the fact is that tourists don't really bring anything positive to the table. Like, maybe bigger numbers, but bigger numbers don't always mean good things, you know? So it basically is nothing. Like, they don't bring anything positive to the table, so that means that we can just shit on them however we want. Yeah.
Because I am angry. It's the kind of anger that's been bubbling up since I was an anime fan and experienced all these fucking tourists and grandstanders taking up the space decades ago. I have been a fan of obscure media with very niche appeals. I've been a fan of franchises that were underrated and I wished more people enjoyed, only for that wish to do a little monkey's paw curl and get everything that I just talked about in this video instead. One would think that the solution is gatekeeping, but I would like to think that that's not going to be that effective. At least, not anymore. See, gatekeeping in its universal definition is the act of controlling or blocking access to something such as information, community members.
I love punk bands like Green Day. Oh, they are not even punk. They totally sold out. Yeah, that's why we call them pop punk. That's why it's a popular punk, you know?
Or resources. Translated over to the culture and community, the general community dictates who gets to be part of the community. For the most part, gatekeeping is done by the act of bullying someone out of a certain place for not belonging there. But despite the negative connotation this might have to people, it's not necessarily keeping outsiders in this very extreme xenophobic way. Though I do acknowledge that the conditions to no longer be considered an outsider
the horse, the Uma.
is very vague and arbitrary. What do I mean by arbitrary? You see, there's a vocal fraction in VTuber that has multiple criteria to make someone not a tourist or a normie. For example, a lot of people think that showing your face or parts of your body revoke your VTuber status. A backlash quite
Nousagi, you didn't do a good job censoring those bodies. Yeah.
evident whenever the VTuber versus IRL hashtag gets popular every 2 months. Some people also think that if you don't know or don't even watch HoloLive, you're not a VTuber fan. But some people think that if you're gonna be an e-whore as a VTuber, at least use the VTuber model. Some casually throw out the word tourist to someone they don't like, the more recent example being Bao the Whale. Now, I have to defend Bao here. Bao is not a
She's not a tourist. She's been around. She's just converting, you know?
tourist or a casual despite how many people claim that she is, just because they don't like her. There's plenty of reasons to criticize Bao for, but labeling her a tourist is not one of them. Bao has been doing nerd and anime adjacent content before most other VTubers even existed. Even back during 2015, she was an otaite, an anime
Yeah, that's a while ago. Bro, Makuka City Actors, that's Charlotte. That's some titles. That's some good stuff.
song cover singer. Most VTubers and virtual idols you know now were utaites, and that content and brand evolution is as natural as it can get for any VTuber. Bao's personality as a fucking nerdy loser degen and her content also not being normie friendly also adds up. It's something only a VTuber fan and a loser nerd can appreciate and can actually watch, and I say that as a good thing.
Yeah, that is very true. Her unusualness and her shenanigans do feel more VTuber-esque and more part of like this proper nerd culture community-ish thing. It's hard for me to explain what this is, because it's like weird kind of humor that you find with nerdy people, I guess, maybe. But then like the definition of a nerd and like geek and such is like such a vague thing nowadays that's like hard for me to explain, because concept of subcultures is literally thrown out the window. It has literally been thrown out the window. We don't do subcultures anymore.
One can say that she fell out of love for VTubing, or that she disconnected herself from it based on recent events, but she's as much a nerd as you and me. And I'm using Bao as an example to basically make the point that I do recognize many people use the word tourist so casually and for arbitrary reasons, especially as an add-on label for people they dislike. If continued, this actually trivializes the meaning of the word, like LARP and incel. Those words lost its meaning and identity because too many people use them willy-nilly, which I wouldn't like to see for the word tourist because I like using it. In my opinion, doing
what are we gonna do then if we lose tourists? We're gonna call them what? Colonizers? Maybe.
the occasional face reveal and body is fine. However, I'd like to have it seen not so often because I understand the impression that if you're a VTuber that casually posts thirst traps and have IRLs be a main part of your content, then what the fuck is the point of your VTuber model? I understand and agree that it blurs the definition, makes it easier for actual e-girl grifters to colonize the industry.
Yeah.
Some special exceptions can include weeb or anime adjacent creators who've always done IRLs casually though, like Amalie, Onigiri, or Keisan.
Yeah. I'd say that, yeah.
While I am a big Hololive fan, I don't need you to watch Hololive or like it just to make you one of us.
That's also true. Like, if you're a VTuber fan, you would just like know, oh yeah, Hololive exists. Do I watch it? No. Like, I personally haven't seen much of Hololive since forever. And I do mean it.
Hololive is not everyone's cup of tea, and EN VTubing has expanded beyond Hololive's dominance and developed different and unique ways to consume it. In general though, how my conditions to determine tourists and casuals is quite generous. Only the simple idea of respect and open-mindedness to the culture you're visiting. Again, everyone
Chat, are you open-minded?
has been a tourist at one point, but there are just certain people who can adapt better and be a good part of certain communities than others. Obviously, harassing, claiming, forcing headcanons, morally grandstanding, history revising, and trying to brute force change in a culture is not the best way to let people know that you are a good part of the community. I don't want to paint the picture that it's only just the woke mobsters that do this. I see quite a few from chuds as well. Christian tubers, apparently a new wave of VTuber trope.
Yeah, that is a completely new thing. Christian tubers. You know, like when a grifter evolves, right? When a VTuber does a grifter evolves, right? They have a couple of ways to evolve into. And one of them is potentially Christian tuber. But I guess there are like quite a few of them that are like not really grifters per se. So maybe there's just like a just like I guess like, you know, a thing. Just a thing. Like, you know, there are multiple ways into evolving into a Christian VTuber. Yeah.
And traditional anime and VTuber fans too. There is a subsection of anime fans who don't really even like VTubers.
Yeah.
They think it's cringe and fake, to the extent that they hate it whenever VTubers gain prominent roles in shows, such as being a voice actress, being an OP singer, or even a one-off reference. They try to point out how unrealistic this is, like how this fucking Forever 17 anime girl who goo goo gagas, wiggles her virtual ass and acts like a retard is actually a 35-year-old ugly foid named Muriel farming simps and harvesting organ donors, and that people are stupid for falling for that. But that's the exact point of VTubing. That is the main appeal. Pretending to be the retard is the point. Role-playing and being in character is the fun. It's what makes it different from regular streaming, even if they get a little lewd. Of course nobody actually thinks that these VTubers don't know basic math or that they're that beautiful.
Or do they? Or do they, you know?
IRL. Because at the same time, I see a lot of VTubers who I think are being respectful and are actually genuine loser nerds and are figures that I would constitute as people who actually get the culture, be called tourists, or that they are ruining VTubing because they decided to want a bouncy asset or because they do 18+ content.
See, I don't mind when they use the model for 18+ content. I do mind when they use the model as something to get an audience to then transition to 18+ content where they show their real body. Because I'm like, okay, so that was a scam. You scammed. you scammed the 2D guys, you know?
Even though I know
you converted them into 3D guys.
inescapable and inevitable, I hate and will hate the politicization of VTubing from both sides and how it infected the culture. I don't care who started it. Both you new friend Christian pearl clutchers and tourist woke grandstanders are a massive oof. And I know I will make many people upset by saying that, and perhaps
I don't
I'm not
mind
going to complain about it, but it's generally how I feel. Even
like politics makes things depressing.
If the annoyance from one side is
and then that is a statement from me where I do react to like political stuff from time to time.
Extremely disproportionate, it would be dishonest of me to not call out fellow traditionalists when they do the exact same things that they whine other people do. And it's part of the reason as to how and why I hate this retarded ass culture war. I'm usually in agreement with the traditionalist VTuber fans, but I do see that they can get a little extreme and unreasonably so a lot of the time. I'm a proponent of gatekeeping, but I don't think there's a real concrete way we can enforce gatekeeping in a way that
No, there isn't. You cannot build the Great Wall of China. No way.
actually produces results.
Actually, no, there is a way, for anime at least. You can keep like all of the safe stuff on Crunchyroll, but the real good stuff, you know, the juicy stuff, we can get this by going through the 7 Seas, you know.
At least not without some bullying. Because how can you take people out of an industry and community when they're already there and they already have enough people to push back against said gatekeeping? Like, the virus is already strong enough to fight the white blood cells. Realistically, there's mostly nothing people can do. Just enjoy the community as it is. Do as you always have. Hopefully be annoying so...
Actually, I think that like you either be annoying as hell and make them not feel like they want to engage, or maybe bully them when you see them until they gang up on you, or just don't engage with the community thing. Like, be on the sidelines, you know?
They'll go away. The natives of the community will do this. The colonizers will also do this. Time will tell if any community will work in the favor of the natives or the colonizers, because ultimately it's the authors, the big players, the established opinion leaders that will dictate where favor will go. Really, what everyone else can realistically do is bitch and whine about it like what I'm doing right now. So yes, TLDR, I hate tourists with a burning passion. You should too, and this video is mostly just a rant. A way to let people know where I stand about the certain
it's a decent rant, honestly. Decent rant. I liked it. Let me leave a like.
VTubing with nerd culture and how I feel about certain groups of people. So just know that despite everything that I said in this video, ultimately, I just wish that people are open-minded, everyone learns to get along and do as the Romans do.
Are you open-minded? Yeah. That was a good video. A pretty decent video. Oh, 6-7. 6-7. Bro. But yeah. I had a bit of fun watching this video, honestly. My model was a bit like small-ish today. Yeah. I think I screwed that up a bit, but whatever. Well, we did a video. It's a 1 hour 21 minute video from a 40-minute video, so we dabbled the time. Whatever. Bro, I'm hungry. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Yeah, thank you for watching. That's a good start from me here. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below, tell me what you thought, tell me whatever the hell you want me to watch next. And if you there we go. Check out the link in the description to Nousagi's video, because the video itself was very good. And if you want to watch it yourself, you can obviously watch it yourself, because, well, with me yapping, yeah, it's not as chill. Like, this video would be perfect for somebody that is like, you know, this video would actually be perfect for me if I didn't do react here, because it's a great thing to put into like, you know, background and do something, because there's like a lot of yapping. You know, a lot of yapping, so that would be pretty good for somebody that would like want in the background, pretty much. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, thank you for watching, see you another time, and goodbye.